Well, it has been raining dogs. I'm sorry about that. It has been raining goals at Allianz Arena, and it's so United got battered by 4-3 by Bayern Munich in the Allianz Arena in a game that we really expected less from United, but they offered more, and the mistakes we really offered that saw us concede very many goals costed us on the night in Munich. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. My mind tells me that we might have reached the pinnacle of our bad performances this season. When you look at the performances we're going to have to put up against Bayern Munich, if we happen to look at our next 5 fixtures and we bring our A game to these teams like we're going to do, I don't think any of those teams is going to survive, because our next games include Burnley away from home, Crystal Palace at Old Trafford in the Carabao Cup, again Crystal Palace at the Old Trafford in the Premier League, then we play Galatasaray. Is it Galatasaray Copenhagen? One of those two teams at Old Trafford. Then we play Brentford. That is it. And then we go to the international break. Then we'll return and obviously try to sort ourselves better and better and better. So guys, I think this is the pinnacle of everything. We've reached the apex of our suffering this season, and I believe these players are obviously going to perform better. And the beauty of this is we are having 4 other players joining United players. That is Sofiane Amrabat, Kobe Menu, Rafael Varane, and Mason Mount. And if all goes well, we might see Rafael Varane and Mason Mount coming in through to play for the club of Manchester United as we take on the side of Burnley over the weekend. Good additions, and that's why I've gone ahead and told you that this is the pinnacle of the sufferings, or if you mark the pinnacle of the first sufferings of Man United this season. And guys, they always say a bad beginning makes a good ending, and it looks like it worked well for us last season. A bad beginning made a good ending, and we wait to see whether it's going to obviously come in through and do the needful. Now, let's go to the player ratings. You know, Ten Hag first brought 11 players, then Martial came on, Scott McTominay came on, Garnacho came on, right? I think those are the 3 substitutes that Erik Ten Hag really made, because I saw Garnacho, Anton Martial, and Scott McTominay. I don't think any other player came on at the field of play. Now, let's start it off with the goalkeeper, Andre Onana. He's the reason as to why you considered the first goal. That is it. But he was there most of the times when we needed him to be, especially short stopping, and he kept us in the game. But the problem is the midfield cost us a lot, and I'm going to give him a 5.5 out of 10, because if that goal doesn't go in, we would have gone ahead, by the way, to even lead the first half, or even go at half time when the game is still level. That is it. So that goal that he went in through was really avoidable. And a goal like that, if I don't ever played football, when you concede a goal like that you don't expect to go in past your goalkeeper, there is the way you lose concentration and it requires some time to regain concentration. And when the heads dropped, 3 minutes later, we concede the second goal, you know? So that is what that goal really meant to those players of Man United. And I think no sooner had he really considered that goal than all the players that were here when David De Gea was here said, I wish David De Gea was here. I think that really went through their minds, and he really looked bad. He really looked bad with the day, and he needs to act better and better and better. I'm talking about Andre Onana, and I'm giving him a 5.5 out of 10. You know, sometimes it's always surprising to see that I'm going to hate to lose and give players some good ratings, because Andre Onana was the worst player in the field of play. If I was getting 5.5, that means other players are really going to get some better ratings, and that is it. We go to Diego Dallo, closing on Serge Gnabry very well, and because of our poor marking, that's why you saw to it that we really lost our game, especially the second goal that passes off his side, but he put in some solid performances. I really liked it when he really got that ball and acted as a reference on that side at in the wide areas of the pitch and in the half spaces of the pitch or the inside tunnels, he really looked great. And one thing we liked about him is the forward play. You know, the offensive side was not all that great, but he had a lot of work to do. Remember, he had Alfonso Alves onto his side, one of the best offensive left backs I've seen in the world. Then he had Sergio Gnabry, and after Sergio Gnabry, they brought which player? They brought this other guy, the French international, Coman. They brought Coman. And he couldn't obviously leave this place open. So I know why he was played like that, but Facundo Pellistri played a very huge role of tracking back and obviously giving him a reason to obviously keep it tight at the back. That is none other than Diego Dalla. I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10. We go to the left back. You know, a good player is always a good player, and it shows you that maybe he's not in good books with the manager at Tottenham Hotspur, Ange Postecoglou, but this guy, Sergio Ramos, is a talent to reckon with. Let me tell you, Sergio Ramos, for the previous 2 games we're going to have to play, he has really looked very, very good player. The player is really immense, and his talent is really great. And I'm really thinking that it's going to benefit Tottenham Hotspur better, because United might obviously want to cash in for the player. That is also possible. Secondly, if United don't cash in for the player when Tyrell Malacia and Luke Shaw are back, Spurs will find itself getting huge suitors for this player, because he's now playing for Manchester United. Manchester United is one of the biggest clubs that are always into that media spotlight, and scouts are obviously seeing this player. And mind you, he's just 26 years of age. Teams like Newcastle are looking in for left backs. You know, they're looking in for left backs and went in for a left back who is not proven. That is Colwell from Chelsea. You get? No, he's called Hall from Chelsea. You know, Aston Villa, we are looking in for left backs. Very many huge teams are looking in for left backs. Real Madrid, we are looking in for left backs, and you never know, they might even go back for Sergio Ramos because they have a buyback clause with that side of Tottenham Hotspur, and I think his future is bright. By the time he plays until December, this guy is obviously going to be one of the best, because his end product to his game is really next to none to those players at Man United. His end product is better than that of Luke Shaw. His end product is better than that of Tyrell Malacia, because the man averaged almost 3 crosses per half, and defensively he put up a very, very, very huge challenge to that guy who is really one of the best right forwards in the world, that is Leroy Sane. So I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. He was one of the best players on the field of play. That guy is going to make Erik ten Hag scratch his head. However much in his contract, there is a termination clause of the contract in January. I believe Ten Hag might keep him until the end of the season and see how he's obviously going to really do his stuff, because this guy is looking good. He's looking good, and I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. We go to the central defense. Apart from Lisandro Martinez pushing Harry Kane and getting a stupid yellow card, forgetting that this is the Champions League, and the Champions League, when you get 2 yellow cards, you miss out on the second game. The next game, he really did great. He closed down very well, press resistant, comfortable on the ball, line breaking passes, threw in his body for the blocks, defended very well, and there is no goal that we conceded that you blame the defenders. The first goal, it's Andrew Onana. And even before you blame Andrew Onana, or after blaming Andrew Onana, why do Leroy Sane get that free shot outside the 18 yards box area before Andrew Onana is shot at? Harry Kane plays what we call a return pass to Leroy Sane, something that we shouldn't be accepting as a club of Manchester United. We need to be having bodies everywhere. When you look at Bayern Munich, They had bodies everywhere. If at all you watch them play today, they had bodies everywhere and they played very, very well. Those bodies went ahead to obviously cause a lot of havoc to the team of Manchester United, and we needed to do better. So we needed to be having bodies around there. So all the 4 goals went ahead to concede. It's because of the midfield. The midfield was going to have to cost us. That's why I want to see Kobe Menu and Sofiane Amrabat return, because we are going to find a solution to that, and it will act well for the club of Man United. And for Lisandro Martinez, 6.5 out of 10. We go to Victor Lindelof, also solid, press resistant, playing very well, winning the battle, and obviously he was really great. They closed down Harry Kane. They closed him down very well. The only goal he had to score was that a penalty. That is it. So I'm also giving him a 6.5 out of 10. We go to the midfield. We start up with Casemiro. Scoring a brace on a day like that is really refresh giving. You know, Casemiro, last season, he scored close to 6 goals. Let me check his stats here. Casemiro scored 6 or 7 goals last season and had some good assists to his name, if at all I'm not mistaken. I saw him score a brace in the FA Cup. Then in the Premier League, he scored 1 goal. Those are 3. In the FA Cup, he scored 1. Right? So that is Casemiro for you. He had a total of 6 goals last season. 6, because he scored 2. He scored 1. Did he score 1 in the Premier League? Did he score 1 in the Premier League? In the Carabao Cup, he had 2 goals, I remember, because he scored in the game against Nottingham Forest and he scored in the final. Those are 2. He scored 2 goals against Reading. Those are 4. He scored 1 in the Premier League. But in total, I remember him scoring 6 goals. Now, having scored 6 goals last season, this season, Casemiro has 3 goals. Scored 1 against Nottingham Forest and scored a brace today against Bayern Munich. It shows you that the duty of the CDM is changing, because even Rodri is the one that really won Man City the Champions League by scoring that only goal against Inter Milan. That is it. So it shows you that he's really improving, and I'm giving him a 7.5 out of 10. That is it. That's what I'm giving Casemiro on the day. Then we go to his other counterparts. Christian Eriksen really had a good game, but the way he gave away the ball that led us to concede a 3rd one and it hit his hand was really bad in that midfield. It was really a sloppy play from him, and he's a player who doesn't really have a lot of energy and cannot really chase back, and he knows what it means, because Casemiro tried to obviously come in through and obviously do a block, and it was also really, it was even net marked, and the player really led that counter that resulted into the 3rd goal. So for that sloppy play of his that resulted into that the 3rd goal, I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. But he had a very good game. But that 3rd goal that came in through, that stretched that to 3-1. Remember, it was at 2-1, and then we conceded a 3rd one. You get? We go to Bruno Fernandes. 1 assist for him, and he's going to have 8 assists in 8 Champions League matches. That is Bruno Fernandes for you. So for that, I come up. I'm going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. Bruno is the reason as why we considered the 4th goal. You know that very well. So you ask yourself, what was the need of him really rushing to obviously do that pass onto the wide area and couldn't reach to the player that he wanted it to reach to? Yet he had yards of space to obviously get that ball and obviously create pressure into those pressure points. So I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10, Bruno Fernandes. We go to Facundo Pellistri. This boy put his body on the line. These are the kind of players I really want to start Man United. They play for the badge, and the way he really ran and chased down everybody, and every time he got that ball, he obviously never put a foot wrong. Facundo Pellistri, amid his size, being really a low, or having a low center of gravity, he really put in a shift, and I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. He really put up a fight. This is his second start for Man United, and really showed the reason as to why he has gone ahead to start into this fixture of this caliber at Old Trafford. At away from home. That is the Allianz Arena. We go to Marcus Rashford. 1 assist, wasteful, non-tracking back sometimes. Sometimes you might be having one of your best players on the field of play and he just costing you sometimes. But he really had a very good chance to play that goal in for Rasmus Hojlund, and it was obviously a time to Rasmus Hojlund to score his first goal for Man United. But he would have gone ahead to do the needful also in the first half to really release him, and didn't. So I think with time, these two are going to obviously know themselves better and better and better, as Ten Hag told us that they should get to know one another. But that one touch to Rasmus Hojlund, that saw Rasmus Hojlund bag his first goal in for Manchester United, was really impressive and an eye to watch. That is it, all a joy to watch. So I'm giving Rashford, I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10. That is it. I go to Rasmus Hojlund. Rasmus Hojlund is a player who really put in all the efforts today. I really liked the way he chased around, and the only chance he got, I think he first got his first chance in the first half, when for the cross that was put in by Diego Dallo. He headed that ball, and it was just all it missed to go into the back of the net by a whisker. That is it. His second chance was really in the 18-yard box area. Rashford released him, and it shows you how quick he is. Had a very good first touch and hit that ball, deflects off Upamecano, and it goes into the back of the net. That is Rasmus Hojlund for you. And we just had that shot and really looked very pretty for the side of Manchester United. And I'm giving him a 7.5 out of 10. Scott McTominay, he came in through and he looked like had been playing a match on the bench. He came in through and he looked more tired than the players that we are playing the game of football. And that's why I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. Scott McTominay loses the ball, cannot track back. Why should we keep players like those at Club of Man United? This board is not doing the needful to us. That is it. We should obviously help the manager. You know, these players should leave the club of Manchester United. 5 out of 10 for me for Scott McTominay. Alejandro Garnacho, a 7. A 7. He kept Conrad Lema very busy and he went past him. The fourth goal that we score, it's because of the efforts of Alejandro Garnacho being put down, and he found himself in a situation of really being fouled. Bruno delivers it, Casemiro taps it, and he makes it count in the 94th minute. So Garnacho, 7 out of 10. Anthony Martial coming in through, registering an assist, and obviously giving us a little bit of a different game altogether against this side of Bayern Munich. I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 10. Those are my player ratings. For Erik Ten Hag, I think he gets a 6.5 out of 10 for me. And my man of the match is none other than Casemiro. Scoring a brace in a game like that, it shows you that you're really a fighter and you're born a fighter. Those are my player ratings, and I'm calling for yours in the comment section below. Can David remains my name. First game of the UEFA Europa League, and happy and good enough, Galatasaray and Copenhagen have gone ahead to draw 2-2. So I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. And for the Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikum, player ratings done. I'm out.